Before I move on to the president's health, I did want to show this maximum cope position. Asmongold will not debate HasanAbi or Destiny. Asmongold believes they're both trying to force him to platform their bad faith opinions. My bad faith opinion is I think all fraud is bad, and I think the government, the right-wing government currently, is just hyper-focusing on all Somalis specifically so that you forget that everyone is engaging in fraud and they're never going to actually fucking tackle fraud at all, and that's it. I like that he's doing, I can't platform him. Everyone who disagrees with me now,
everybody that disagrees with me now believes that they're entitled. Well, I don't agree with what you're saying. So
first of all, I don't think I'm entitled to a platform at all. It's just that you do talk about me every single day, and obviously you platform me every single day. The problem here is you want to control how you platform my opinions. That's the issue. It's dishonesty. You want to frame every single thing that I say in a way that is palatable to your audience because you're actually afraid that if they were to hear my true perspective, they would probably agree with it. That's the issue. And I said that as well. The moment Asmongold talks to anyone who's read a single book is the moment he'll look like an absolute buffoon. This is why he'll keep farming drama rather than talk to a single person who disagrees with him. That's it. That's it. He's being a pussy. Yeah. He wants to consistently debate a negatively framed version of me that he can control. If he were to have an actual conversation with me, the moment that he says, yeah, you actually want the Somalis to do fraud, I'd be like, no, arrest every single Somali person that is engaged in fraud, just like you should arrest every single person that is engaged in fraud. And then all of a sudden, that falls apart, right? Because you can say Hasan wants Hasan wants Somali fraud to continue. You can just say that with ease and your audience will believe you. Why should they not believe you? Especially if they've been negatively framed against whatever my position is over and over again through the daily fuck Hasan compilations that you're engaging in. That's it.
So now you have to come on my stream and talk to me. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's not going to happen. Why would I do that? And also, these people get so fixated and so mad about the fact that I don't want to do this. Why would I play into your game? Why would I do something?
Yeah, he's like, why would I play into your game where we have a conversation and you actually show that I don't really know what I'm talking about? That would make me look very bad. I would rather keep framing whatever you're saying in a totally ridiculous and totally negative way to my audience that is desperate to hear negative perspectives on total team boundaries, right? Because it's team sports. Asmongold is in the right team. Hasan is in the wrong team, right? And he has no credibility whatsoever. He hasn't really done any serious reading on any of this stuff. He hasn't done any serious thinking on any of this stuff. So obviously, if anyone scratched the surface of his fucking surface level argumentation here, that's simply rehashing whatever fucking talking points that are popping off on his subreddit or popping off on Twitter, all of a sudden, a lot of people that are in his audience are going to a lot of people in his audience are going to go, wait, maybe Asmongold doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Yeah. That's it. Because every single time that Asmongold and I have had conversations, right, back in the day, he looked like a fucking toddler. I will admit, however, it did make me think because of his openness to having any sort of conversation like this, I falsely was also duped. I was duped into thinking that maybe he is open-minded, maybe he's just like a little misguided or whatever. I did not think that he was just straightforward grifting to this degree. I think now it's a little different. Yeah, I used to praise him for being somewhat open-minded.
Thing that you want me to do. Why wouldn't I just keep doing the thing that I want to do? Both these guys use the same excuses to avoid me, avoiding each other, then call each other out, using those excuses to avoid each other while avoiding me will never not be hilarious. I know. And for people like Destiny...
Yeah, I think there is... you were an Asmongold fan? No. I wouldn't say I was an Asmongold fan, but, you know, I saw him as a peer that I disagreed with. I did not think that he was anywhere near as I mean, he wasn't as harmful as he is now. Like there is nothing that you can compare this to. I mean, it's hard to compare Asmongold in the past to Asmongold now. You'll say, oh, well, I saw him say this thing back in the day, and that obviously made me understand that he was right-wing or whatever, but like he never tuned it up to this degree. You guys are crazy, I think, if you think that Asmongold was doing this level of racialized, insane, agitative propaganda at the behest of the Republican Party on a daily basis like a partisan hack. He was not. He has definitely tuned up the rhetoric tremendously. Maybe he believed some of these things already, and maybe he was too shy to openly admit it. But nowadays, he's going full-blown, full tilt.
I'm sure this is very disappointing that, Destiny watched a YouTube video of me that he disagreed with, and so now I'm obligated to have to go and argue with him on his stream.
I don't think that's the case, for the record. I don't think that you have to offer people a platform just because they demand it. I think that's silly. I'm not even saying you have to give me a platform, but notice how he's framing it that way because he has to make this seem as though this is a silly request, right? He has to, once again, control the narrative for his audience, and that's precisely what he's doing here. And he has to still present a show of strength and in a moment where he's very clearly insecure about his lack of knowledge on any particular subject matter. Like the situation here is he would much rather frame things in a negative way for his audience and keep saying, oh, Hasan is very stupid, Hasan is very dumb, don't listen to him over and over again, and instead of like actually entertaining the arguments that I'm presenting, right? If he had any issues with platforming, right, and he's talking like a woke SJW here with the whole, I'm not going to platform people, right? These are dangerous ideas that I'm platforming, and the dangerous ideas that I have are what? Fucking, we should investigate and prosecute all instances of fraud in this country. Very dangerous. And we shouldn't rely on random dumbfuck YouTubers claiming that there's no children inside of a daycare facility, and the only evidence they present is just knocking on the door of a child care facility. That's ridiculous. The reason why he doesn't want to do this is because he is afraid. He's afraid that he's going to look silly
about it. No, I don't think so.
No.
No, I never agreed to these rules. It's not going to happen. So the more you tweet about it and complain about it and everything else, go ahead, do it. And if you do it on stream, I'm going to get another video out of it. The last Destiny video did really, really well.
He's like a petulant child who, once again, is running hot on this newfound influence that he has gathered. Okay, just full blown, openly admitting to grifting too. I'm not gonna get pissed off and reward him because he loves being like, oh, I've killed him, I've destroyed him, I've trolled him so hard he got really mad. I think this is ego. That's what it is ego speaking. It's like, no, I will not be platforming you. Guess what? Because I'm popping. Okay. Look, I've been here. I've been doing this for 10 plus years at this point. Okay. There's always going to be highs and lows, brother. There's a boomerang to this stuff. When woke comes back and you have to shut down some of your reactionary takes, it'll come for you. When you start noticing your audience hemorrhaging and have to pivot on other issues, it'll come for you. I've been through the highs and lows and maintained a consistent worldview through it all. That's the big difference. That's the big difference between someone like myself and many of these guys who are, they're tourists. I'll use a term that anime fans understand. You know how there's like anime tourists or whatever? These guys are politics tourists, okay? They don't have a serious worldview that they've thought about. They don't have a vision for a better future. They're just simply responding to audience feedback. The moment that Asmongold goes back to playing video games and talking about titties in video games or whatever the fuck he was doing before he started doing this pro-Trump shit is the moment that you know the grift is over, at least for this, political commentary side of things.
So if we can get another one, I will. Well, this is what their strategy is, right? Is that they want to constantly go and, they want to effectively...
Also, Destiny saying this stuff is really funny. One, because he's banned, and two, because he's utterly irrelevant. Like, let's be real. He's like, oh, why won't anybody talk to me? I don't know, man. Maybe because you got, active court cases that you're dealing with where investigators have found out that you tried to procure child sexual abuse material. I feel like for me, there's a little bit of a, there's a better argument here, which for the record, I don't think Asmongold will talk to Destiny either. I don't think he'll talk to Destiny at all. And I do think that it would be productive overall if he even talked to Destiny. Let's be real. To be fair, I don't think that's the reason Asmon isn't talking to him. No, the reason why Asmongold is not talking to Destiny or myself is the same exact reason. Okay? It's the same exact reason. He doesn't want to have this conversation because he is genuinely terrified. Like, actually terrified. He can try to present this as like I'm actually coming at this from the perspective of like, I don't want to platform people or whatever. But yeah, it's because he's unqualified, and it's fine to be unqualified. I wouldn't give a shit if he wasn't spreading such hateful narratives and actually misdirecting his audience. Examples that I've used in the past, obviously, revolve around the Mahmoud Khalil incident, right? When Mahmoud Khalil was apprehended, detained, and was slated to be deported, I said there is no legal basis to do this. Asmongold farmed that incident and kept claiming over and over again, yeah, it's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen. I said, you're wrong. This is a First Amendment violation, clear cut through and through. If the administration actually followed through on this, this would be a severe violation of the First Amendment. And he was wrong. That's just one example. There are a million examples of this every single day, right? That's all it is. He doesn't want to look silly. He doesn't want to look like he's wrong. And that's why he'd rather talk about me to his audience instead of talking to me, where his audience can make up their own minds. It's actually also somewhat insincere. Like, you're basically saying you don't trust your audience. You don't trust your own skill. You don't trust your own knowledge. And you don't really trust your audience to make up their own minds either. You have to keep it compact. And before Destiny says, oh, Hasan, you do the same thing. Brother, with the exception of talking to someone like Destiny, I do actually talk to right-wing commentators with regular frequency. You've just lied to your audience and claimed that I don't do that. I talk to right-wingers all the time. I do not shy away from the open discourse. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to talk to this right-winger right now.
Try to bully you into talking to them so you give them a platform and allow them to spread whatever they want to say, right?
I'm trying to bully Asmongold. Yeah. He would rather debate a clip of yours as he's doing right now. Let's see what he's doing. Let's see.
So I was on Instagram, and so people are making... They said my 2026 gonna be like, and they're making fan cam edits of AI generated montages of Jeffrey Epstein out on, like, ski boats on an island with a bunch of rich friends and stuff like that. And like, they're actually trying to create an aura for Jeffrey Epstein.
I think he's just farming. He must be just farming like the people that are looking for anti-Hasan clips, because he's not even talking about me in this situation. Let's see what he said before.
Jesus. Look at how he is.
Look at Hasan meet riding Asmongold for the 300th day in a row. Does it feel like the walls are closing in a little bit? Hasan says the walls are closing in for Asmongold after his Minnesota childcare coverage. Does it feel like the walls are closing in a little bit on your daddy? They're K-pop stands. At least K-pop artists are hot. You're over here standing for this creature. Yeah. Yeah. He has no argument. Yeah. That's why he just calls me ugly. When he calls me ugly, he's calling you ugly, chat. He's calling everybody ugly. He's just like that jock on your daddy.
What is this?
Look at Hasan meet riding Asmongold for the 300th day. He and his community will cut parts of your answer and turn it to his advantage. Bet. Yeah, I know. I don't give a shit. They do this every fucking day. The reality of the matter is, it is pertinent. It is up to the individual. Okay. I have confidence not only in my worldview, but I also have confidence in the minds of all these people that tune in. Eventually, for every 10 people that tune in for more Fuck Hasan content, there's going to be like 3 people that will go, let me go see this for myself. Okay? Let me go see this for myself. Calling it now, he's going to go full crybaby and point to you being bigger and stronger than him and try to turn it into you intimidating him. What? No. I think he's just going to say he has no argument. Yeah, based. Does it feel like the walls are closing in a little bit on your daddy?
Is that right?
A person that you consider to be this idealistic intellectual? Is that why you guys keep coming in here and crying? Is that what it is? That there is like maybe a fraction of the scrutiny on the shit that he says on a daily basis.
Yes.
And all of a sudden now it's like, oh, you guys, why are you paying attention to him? I don't know. Why are you so scared?
What is he talking about?
I mean, once again, if Asmongold wasn't scared, instead of trying to consistently debate clips of me that are framed in a particular way, okay, he would talk to me directly. He has the capacity, right? He follows me on Twitter. I follow him back. He can hit me up on Discord. But instead, he'll just keep going, oh, I'm just farming drama. I'm just farming you. Get farmed, idiot. That's right. It's really pissing you off, I bet. It's not. This is not the first time that I've had insane haters. Please stop playing into it. Asmon is the most competent enemy you have had because he knows the most important skill is streaming. You can't play this game, man. He needs to be discovered by mainstream media and dug out before anything happens. He can do this all day. No. No. I mean, Chatter's not wrong. Asmongold is a good streamer. That's why he was one of the biggest fucking streamers before he started doing this politics grift. Okay? Ultimately, if you're confident in your stance 100% and you call me stupid like he did, okay, you have to treat Asmongold like a lolcow. Every time someone tries to farm him, he ignores them. I mean, this isn't even a farming operation. I think we're going tit for tat here. I try to stick to actual politics. I try to stick to the actual political output here. He's the one who can't actually talk about my positions. So he either has to bastardize it to his audience and have no pushback, obviously, in this circumstance because it's a fucking clip, right? Because the clip can't dunk on him, right? But at the end of the day, the reason why I talk about this kind of stuff is, and this is silly. This is like, this is devoid of actual politics. Like this back and forth happening here with him reacting to a clip of mine is utterly devoid of politics. I want to talk about the policies. I want to talk about the politics. He wants to turn this into drama over and over again. Okay? But the reason why this still matters, the reason why this is still significant, even though people will go, why are you doing this? Who gives a fuck? The reason why this still is significant is because, I mean, look, guys, Elon Musk is highlighting Asmongold's positions, right? He's highlighting Asmongold's positions. Like, clearly these things do have impact in terms of changing people's minds. If you don't, like, people didn't used to do this when I talked about Ben Shapiro every single fucking day when Ben Shapiro was popping, right? People don't do this when I talk about Tucker Carlson. But when it comes down to Asmongold, you get really sad and you get a little worried because you kind of understand that Asmongold's audience will consistently cyberstalk both myself and even my fans and keep fucking spamming slurs and whatever the fuck, right? But like, you still have to deal with it. I mean, these guys are not going to go away. Woke is not going to make a magical comeback, okay? I think some of you basically think that this kind of stuff is just going to go away and people are going to get too annoyed with it and they're going to speak out. Someone has to have the confidence to stick their neck out. Someone has to actually lead the way, okay? It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen magically. The pendulum does not swing unless someone is actually trying to swing it back. That's it. A lot more popular and overemphasized on the internet, that it's actually a narrative that is gaining momentum or popularity still, the anti-immigrant stuff that he's doing.
It massively is. It tremendously is. If you think that the average American sees a bunch of Somalians living in $1 million house and then yelling at somebody whenever they ask if your home daycare is able to accept new people and they're speaking in a language that's not English, if you actually think that like most Americans are like, oh my God, I love this. This is so good. The only people that are doing this are circle jerkers in Hasan's orbit. Nobody else thinks this. Go to Walmart and you show this. It's just explain what's going on here. And they'll be like, oh, what the fuck? What do you mean they're getting free childcare? Well, I got to pay for that every day. Gee.
Did he watch the same clip as us? No, that's the reason why. That's the reason why he can craft a narrative from his hug box. Okay? My point is, if the average American looks at someone like myself and looks at someone like Asmongold, who is the average American going to think is like more coherent in their worldview, or is a more credible actor, for example, a more credible political actor, for example? Like, what pops off on the internet is not necessarily what is consistent with mainstream perspectives. Okay? Oh my God, Asmon, sadly. Sure, guys. I think a lot of you are also Twitch watchers, and that's part of the reason why you have this ridiculous opinion. There's a reason why anytime I fucking have guests on and I show them like even a fraction of a fucking Asmongold clip, they're shocked. They're horrified, not only by the things he's saying, okay, but also just the way he carries himself and the way he presents himself. There's a difference between people getting duped into believing that only Somalis are actually doing fraud in America or whatever and developing a reactionary position, which I'm trying to combat right now, versus the type of shit that he says. The average American hears someone go, these are parasitic third world, these are parasites from the third world that must be forcibly deported. Yeah, there's people who like that kind of sentiment. They're in fucking Klan rallies, okay? That's it. That's it. That kind of narrative is much more popular online than it is in the real world. That's it. Most offline people think he is a grotesque. You're saying you mog him? I mean, yes, I am saying that. It is true. I am. I'm both mogging. I'm brain maxing. I'm brain mogging him and also looks maxing and look mogging him too. The problem is whenever I say stuff like that, half jokingly, people get really up in their feelings because they're like, well, I look and think like Asmongold, so I guess you're saying that about me too. And they get really fucking hurt. They get up in their fifis. Let's see what Asmongold's doing now.
Media? Yeah, exactly. And so that's the reason, I don't know, just any Comcast. This is your legacy. This is your life. This is right now. Wake up, Hasan.
Yeah, you're right, brother.
Wake up.
I know. When politicians come on the stream, they're like, wow, dude. All the fucking weirdos that are spamming these memes, they really got to me. None of the guests have ever heard the Bloodwall story and have gone, oh, that's dope. This is what I mean. This is what I fucking mean. Look, argue against my positions, okay? Argue against my politics and my positions. I'm willing to entertain arguing specifically against your policies and your positions. We don't have to talk about the blood wall. We don't have to talk about how you carry yourself, how you present yourself. We can simply talk about the impact that your commentary is having. But he can't do that, which is precisely the reason why he has to do this shit over and over again. That's it. And there is an audience. There is certainly an audience. There is certainly an audience that is demanding this, like, oh yeah, do more fuck Hasan content. Do more fuck Hasan content. And he's just going to keep trying to farm that and then cut another YouTube video and be like, yeah, Hasan is actually really frustrated with me. Okay. You can keep doing that all day, every day. But you're fucking terrified to actually have an adult conversation with another adult who knows what they're talking about. That's it. Why would he argue about your positions if the point is to debase you and get you to endlessly stoop down to his level? I think part of the reason why you guys don't understand this kind of shit, or what the necessity for this is that, sure, we're doing a lot of like adult commentary here, but every now and then I have to address some of this stuff. And the reason why I have to address some of this stuff is because this shit works. You have to sometimes, get down to their level. Okay? I know you are brilliant and you want me to only talk about theory or only talk about the news and never actually get into the dirt. Okay? I get it. I get it. I understand. But you have to understand there's a funnel here. And more consequentially, it's not even about like what he's doing where he's like talking shit about me, but it's actually the propaganda that he's putting out where he consistently presents a one-sided narrative. You have to address it. I have to address it. Someone has to address it. Especially when he refuses to entertain any sort of disagreement. And instead of actually having, like, can you imagine when Asmongold makes a point, and it's a wrong point on another political issue that he's getting wrong. If I were to turn around and immediately just be like, oh, well, you look like you smell bad. That's it. Instead of actually addressing why he's wrong, yeah, I'd be doing what he's doing. I do both. I make those jokes as well. But also, the main function here is that I try to tackle his argument.